Hey everybody, Argent here. So I wasn't going to cover this. In fact, I really didn't want to cover this because frankly, I think I've done more than enough DSP stuff lately. But, jeez. Like I watched this and I was thinking to myself, okay, this isn't so bad. But then this just went so completely batshit insane. I just had to comment on it. I also wanted to make this because I was going to make a video on this topic anyways, but I figured I'd just combine them. You may have noticed that the video I did the other day about the Dark Souls playthrough where I was talking about DSP as kind of like an open stream, and I kind of took that down. And what I took that down is I kind of think I misspoke and I kind of gave the wrong impression. It wasn't a falling out with the Sons of Kojima I had. There was just this little Skype group, and I got into kind of an argument with someone in it, and it really didn't have anything to do with them. I just kind of misspoke when I was talking about it. So I just wanted to apologize for kind of for misrepresenting the whole thing. I think what kind of happened, and we'll see this in this video, is a lot of people have just been attacking DSP lately for reasons I think which are largely unjustified. Largely, they're just saying like he said some mildly unpolitically correct stuff in the past, and because of that, he deserves to be like homeless. People have called for his death, etc. And I kind of was feeling bad for the guy, and I kind of got into an argument with this guy about some stuff DSP has said in the past, and I kind of took DSP's side. But yeah, I just wanted to issue that apology. I guess I kind of feel if I kind of insult someone unnecessarily in a live stream, I should make a live apology. But that's not really what this is about. I just figured I'd say that. So why am I doing this Friday night? Frankly, because I was just out hanging out with my friend Abstract, and I got back and I said, well, why don't we just do this? Because I'm probably going to be busy doing some work tomorrow. And in the meantime, why don't I just, I'm not quite ready to go to bed yet. And this thing is just so crazy. I kind of wanted to do it, especially given that I don't know, in kind of a philosophical, kind of a relaxed mood. And I think that's probably best for this video, because I admit lately I've kind of been feeling a bit bad for him. And that might be because he's an extremely manipulative person, and that's part of his whole thing, is to try to make people who I would consider myself a decent person, at least in some regards, to make us feel bad for him and to make us want to give him money because we don't want to see just someone suffer like this. And Tevin did a video the other day where he's kind of still disgusted by DSP, but he's also just kind of feels that he's just such a pathetic person who lives such an empty life, and there's really nothing in his life other than just being basically a form of mockery to people, and even his fans kind of mock him, and he's just in general widely despised, and it's really sad. And this video, you're gonna see once I get to it, he kind of just breaks down and starts going fucking crazy as this whole thing goes on, and it just kind of gets worse and worse and worse, and he like starts manically laughing near the end of it. So I just felt I had to talk about it because there's a lot of stuff in here that we haven't heard before. And I got to admit, it's kind of addictive in a way to talk about DSP. See, my channel it was growing pretty consistently because I put out quality content, and I had a hardcore viewer base, I guess you could say, of people who liked reactionary reviews, who liked my other stuff. And when I made kind of my first couple DSP videos, one of them got like 70,000 views. I got like 1,000 new subs. Not just people who like my DSP stuff, but people who like my other content too. And that was kind of a blessing, I suppose you could say. Ray Boyman is asking, how long did you stream? Did it just get started? Yeah, I just got home. I was hanging out with my friend Abstract Entity, and it's Friday night, so I figured I'd stay up a while. I took my my Imavane, so yeah, don't worry, I'll start in a minute. Ooga booga. So I made my first DSP video, and it got 70,000 views. I probably made like 400 bucks off of that video alone. I got a bunch of new subs, and whenever I do a DSP video, I always get a lot of positive feedback. I get a lot of views. I get a lot of influx of people. And it's kind of addictive in a way, and I don't want to become a detractor channel that just covers DSP all the time. And like I said, I really didn't want to do anymore for a while. But this came out, and this was just so fucking crazy I had to cover it. So without further ado, let's start. I may have to skip through this a bit. I'll probably put up the speed to higher than 1.
Hello everyone, Darkside Phil here.
Please tell me if the audio
today is
balance
actually
is okay.
Wednesday. Sorry, I almost forgot the day. February 22nd, 2017. And I'm making a special vlog here to discuss a couple of topics. Now, originally I was going to make a vlog tonight already about one very important topic, something that everyone who watches my stuff, who attends the live streams, who watches my videos on YouTube, something you need to know, a big impending change coming to my schedule. I want to explain upfront why this change is happening so you understand for transparency reasons, and also how this is going to affect the daily content that I put out on YouTube, so this way you know what to expect every single day, rather than this change hits and then boom, you had no idea it was coming, and everyone's confused. When did the stream start? Where's the videos, etc., etc. So I'm going to outline all of that in this video. But unfortunately, something else has happened, something that I did not ever foresee at this point. I mean, I'm so blindsided by this. In regards to, once again, YouTube and ad revenue, which I know many of you don't care about, and if you don't care about it, I recommend, once I talk about the schedule changing portion of the video, you skip the rest of it and close the video, all right?
Let me just
but it's
skip
very
ahead
important, because YouTube is changing. YouTube is obviously screwing with things. I have evidence that I'm going to show you in this video that makes absolutely no logical sense. I'm talking with Machinima about this. Basically, the bottom line is YouTube ad revenue, at least for me on my channels, is down into the toilet. Worse than January, which makes no sense.
Okay, I just want you guys to look at him for a minute. I mean, this guy looks awful. He's only 33. He looks like he's in his he looks like he's in his 50s. His hair's going gray. He just looks awful. Like the skin's almost falling off of his face. This guy's just, it's depressing. It's not even really funny anymore. It's just really sad. You're basically watching a man die on camera. And this was just, Rayboy Man says he also had an update video after this. That's true, but it's not really relevant.
Sense, because in January it was really bad. It always is bad in January because you have that big rush for the holidays, right? And then after the holidays, the ad revenue goes boo into the toilet for about a month. And then all of a sudden in February it comes back because you've got the Super Bowl, you've got big movies coming out, you get this big insurgence of ad revenue on YouTube. And for whatever reason, on my channels, it didn't happen. In fact, it's even worse than January by a large fucking margin, to the point where if this stands and doesn't turn around, I don't know how I'm going to keep paying my bills. It's that bad, and it's bullshit, and it has nothing to do with you, and it literally has nothing to do with me. If you actually look at views and everything going on, they're good.
Just to reference something in the comments section, someone's referencing the SOK. Yeah, I actually talked a little bit to Fred Fox earlier, and he mentioned they were doing it tonight. Granted, it's kind of redundant because Tevin's done it, the SOK's done it, and now I'm doing it. But I like to think my perspective is a bit different, and I'm just going to cover this a bit differently. So you can watch as many or as few as you want. There's only like 1 or 2 videos I've ever asked people to watch. I think one of them was on finance, and I think one of them was on religion.
YouTube, for some reason, is paying me less for the same amount of work and the same amount of views and the same amount of everything. And there's no explanation why. I've already put in an inquiry to my partner network, Machinima. I have a little bit of information about that to follow up with you in this video. All right. So let's talk about the first thing first. The thing that this original video was supposed to be about.
Okay, just a side note. Has Phil ever actually tried... Can someone confirm this if he's ever tried a decongestion? I mean, you occasionally hear me like clear my throat or I guess snort. I have really bad allergies and asthma, and I've had that ever since I was really young. I've been to ear, nose, and throat specialists, but I just try to turn away from the mic, or I just take a decongestion. You can get like from Costco, you can get a big thing of non-drowsy Lortidine or whatever the generic version of Claritin is for like $20 Canadian, and it's like 200 tablets. So I just get one of those twice a year.
Oh, all right. Oh, by the way, I'm going to mention this. I'm completely disabling comments and likes and dislikes on this video. And you might say, why? It's this simple, because whenever I do one of these vlogs, it's very important. And if you actually care about me and my business and my putting out these live streams and videos every day, and you want to see me continue to do this, right, full time, you want to see this video. But there's this element that comes in who just want to shit all over everything. They completely ruin the comments. You know, sometimes I look at the comments for something constructive, and I got to go through 400 insanely just negative, insulting messages to even get to something constructive. There's no point to it. And the bottom line is, those idiots who fucking are going to tear this video apart to make me look bad and say all horrible things about, oh God, Phil's business is failing and how dare he ask for help and shit like.
I like how he says a detractor thing is his business is failing. Well, his business is failing, or he wouldn't be making these videos every month. So it's just like he wants people to give him constructive suggestions, but he disables comments and likes and dislikes. Now, I delete comments and I block people all the time. Well, I block people. I mean, if people come on here and I've had lots of like people who are left-wing. I've had lots of atheists. I've had lots of people who come on and disagree with me, and I don't block them. If people come on and just blatantly troll and they're just like, they just start screaming at me, then I'll normally block them. So I don't really have an issue with that. But if you're doing this thing where, as he talks about later, everybody loves him, everybody's happy with what he's doing, and then so you do that, but you also want positive feedback, so you like turn off comments.
They're going to steal this video illegally anyway and post it on their own fucking channels, so let them have all that vile negative comments and shit on their own fucking channels and keep it off of mine, all right?
Okay, to be fair, I am watching this on your channel.
It's very important, and I need your feedback. If you genuinely watch this video, and you genuinely care, and you want to help, you can email me at darksidephil@hotmail.com. You can tweet me at they call me DSP. All right? Those are the ways that you can reach me, or if you're a member of my forums.
I mean, look at his skin. It's almost translucent. Does this man ever go outside? And granted, I live in Canada, so the sun's not exactly bright here, and I don't really go outside that much, but I have a decent tan because I like to go outside for walks. But I mean, look at this.
KingofHate.com. You can send me a private message on my forums as well. Okay, those are the ways you can contact me with suggestions, with opinions, with input. All right, that's constructive. YouTube comments are so fucking toxic at this point. There's no reason for them to even exist anymore on a video like this.
YouTube comments are toxic.
So first off, ladies and gentlemen, I moved to the state of Washington into this house in the middle of 2014. So almost 3 years ago at this point, if you can believe it. And yeah, time has flown. It does not seem like 3 years. It seems like yesterday that I was leaving Connecticut. It really does. And in a lot of ways, things have gone good. But in a lot of ways, things did not turn out the way that I had intended. All right. And I need to explain a little about that because a lot of you have no idea what my daily life is like and everything like that. So allow me to explain. When I first moved here to Washington State, it was for multiple reasons. Number one, because Leanna and I wanted to live together. And we knew that getting a place in Connecticut was going to be incredibly overexpensive. In fact, and this is no lie, I'm not even kidding you, the mortgage on this house is pretty much about the same payment as the condo in Connecticut. This fucking giant house in Washington, it's not giant, it's a normal sized house in Washington. I say giant because in comparison to the condo, which is a rinky-dink place in Connecticut, I'm paying pretty much the same. So that's why I wanted to move out. I wanted to get a house for us so we could have a life together. I was hoping the business would get set up.
Now, he's actually probably right about this, because in Toronto, a crappy one floor house is like $1.1 million. To get a house the size DSP has is probably like $2 or $3 million. So yeah, it probably does actually cost as much as he says it does, if Connecticut's anything like Southern Ontario. So, I mean, the thing is, and I've talked about this before, DSP's business is not based on location. He doesn't have to leave his house to work. So basic logic would suggest he moves to a state with low to no taxes, with low property values, and that has good internet access. So probably like Texas, or maybe actually where he moved isn't even that bad. The issue is he moved too close to Washington and he bought a house too big. But leaving Connecticut for another state is a good idea. Yeah.
Things will go good here. She can get established here in Washington.
Jalen B says, I live in Brampton, 30 minutes from Toronto, and can pretty much confirm.
Get a job, get maybe her own business going, and within a few years, we could see if we wanted to branch out and do other things and have our life together. I mean, honestly, maybe start a family and that kind of stuff, marriage. These are the things that we were all kind of contemplating in our heads here together when we moved across the country to the Walk.
Now, that's super depressing. I actually thought that was the most depressing part of this video. And I don't get why he can't just marry her. I honestly don't get why... he can't just marry her. He can't just go to City Hall. I mean, I don't think he's religious anymore, so he doesn't have to go see a priest. He can just go to City Hall, file a marriage license, and him and Leanna would be married. And it wouldn't take much effort. And to me, I just have very little respect for people who live in common law relationships. They can't even be bothered to go and file this basic paperwork. They live together for 3 years. They sleep in the same bed, but he can't even make that basic commitment. I call common law common degeneracy, and it does actually really bother me. Why he couldn't have just married her, I don't know. Honestly, well, the thing is, they can't really start a family just because they're both kind of fuck-ups. Although then again, a child might have made them try to get their lives together. With regards to Panda Lee, yeah, I don't know. I think she's a castiza, to be perfectly honest. I think she's half, she's probably half mestiza and half German or something, considering her name's
Washington State, all right?
Oh,
so that was our personal life. We wanted to have a life together here because we didn't live together on the East Coast. She lived with her mom in Pennsylvania. I lived in this tiny little condo in Connecticut, and we knew it wasn't going to work out. To get a house in Connecticut would be so dumb because it was so expensive. We'd have something a third of the size of what we got out here, all right? Plus, by the way, taxes, prices, everything out here is cheaper than it was back home in Connecticut. There's no state tax here, okay?
That's true.
So that was one of the primary reasons why we moved here to Washington State to this house. Number two, for the business, because I knew getting out of that element of Connecticut where, again, taxes insanely high, state taxes for absolutely no reason. This internet that I had at the condo that really wasn't good internet and constantly would go out and give me problems, and there was no way for me to have higher quality internet, regardless of the fact that techs had been out to rewire the place a million times. It always was shit internet. I knew moving out here, having an office, which I now have. By the way, this office is a full tax write-off.
Someone's saying the audio is a little loud. Is that better?
In my house that's dedicated just for the business, to be able to do things in basically a better environment. The soundproofing that I have here, the professional quality mic that I have in here. All right, and at one point when I was working with the green screen, I know now it's been 1.5 years since I touched it, but that might change. I may be able to use it soon, but I'm not going to get to that. That's a different subject. But anyway. There was a bunch of things I knew I could do to improve my business that I couldn't do in this little shitty condo in Connecticut with the situation that I had, all right? And my health. And this was kind of the third major reason why I wanted to move out of Connecticut. I have a lot of health problems, not major health problems, but post-nasal drip, okay? Had it my whole life. That's why you hear me snorting or whatever. Never goes away. Every video I've ever made, you can hear it. Yet people complain about it today like it's something new, and it's been every video I ever put out for YouTube for 8 years, you've heard it. No cure for it or anything like that. Cannot be cured. My back.
Well, I mean, I have the same problem, Phil. You can just take some decongestants. Just go to Costco, get some decongestants. It sucks. It does suck, and I'm not gonna lie. This man has severe health problems, and I'm someone who's not like super healthy myself. I have bipolar disorder. I'm overweight, but I'm at least not in denial. And this man is in denial. I don't know what the deal with his back is. I've heard theories that it's like some insurance scam. Someone's saying, I actually don't think that Pandalee's bad looking, especially compared to Phil. I think she's okay looking.
My back injury,
honest. Not my type.
Which when I moved out here was much worse than it is now. My overall health when it comes to eating and everything, there were many things that I wanted to improve by moving to Washington State, okay? And by the way, most of them have improved, you know? When you think about it, the quality of my videos, big jump when I moved to Washington and I had this office, I upgraded all my equipment, the soundproofing, everything sounds...
Don't worry, guys, I'll be skipping ahead in a bit. Just there's a lot to go on here. Doing what he does, just sitting around all day on your computer in just one spot is really bad for you. Not even really bad for your physical health, but your mental health. Since I finally ended my unemployment and got a job, even though like I would probably prefer to work 4 days a week, to be honest, but getting up most days, going into work, interacting with people in real life, like being out in public, being out in a city, having to get like dressed, having to get cleaned up, etc., is really good for your mental health. It's really good for your self-esteem, and it's good for your physical health because it's good for your mental health. But no, like what he does, he lives in complete isolation. He doesn't interact with anyone. He just sits all day. And I mean, I have an office job, so I sit all day, but he could go take a walk. He could go exercise.
It's so much better than it used to. It really is a giant jump in quality for what I used to do. My health has improved. I lost weight. As people say all the time when I stand up in these videos, it's like, oh my God, Phil lost weight. Yeah, I lost weight. I'm a lot skinnier than I used to be. I'm eating way healthier than I used to. You know, Leanna makes us really healthy meals most of the week. You know, every once in a while we go out for fast food, and it's hilarious because, you know, the one time a week that we go out for fast food to film with DSP tries it, people think that I eat that every day, when in reality I'm eating these healthy meals almost every day that Leanna makes for us. And that's awesome. And my back, by the way, so much better since the move. Doesn't hurt at all anymore unless I'm like out in either...
Okay, I'm actually gonna... Don't worry, guys. I'll skip ahead eventually. But just, I think people are a little unnecessarily like critical of his eating habits. I mean, everybody likes to go have fast food from time to time. If he does it once a week, that's really not that big a deal. I mean, when I work, I normally take a bagged lunch. I normally make myself a sandwich, take a couple pieces of fruit, maybe half a can of beans to work with me. But Friday, I like to buy myself lunch, maybe from Chipotle's, maybe from like a fish and chip place. Lots of people do that. I don't really begrudge
Number one,
that.
lifting heavy stuff. Like when there was snow a couple weeks ago and I had to shovel, then it fucking hurt like crazy. Or number two, if I'm out for like a day and I'm stressed out, and, you know, we've been walking around all day or whatever, doing errands, and I come home, then it hurts a little bit. But
okay, so his back is better, but he can't. Okay, shoveling snow is a bitch. Okay, but at 33, he can't shovel snow at all. And shoveling snow like can make your back hurt a bit, especially if it's really heavy. But like he's like, if I'm walking around like outside, like not even doing anything, just walking around, my back hurts. I mean, that's a problem. I mean, I know people who it's like, I know people with back issues and they can
But it's nothing like it used to be. No more shooting pain, no more numbness. For the most part, my back is rehabilitating in a lot of ways.
What?
Okay? But the one thing that didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to was basically Leanna and my relationship here in Washington, mostly because of the business, all right?
The business.
What I was hoping is that eventually, like I said, we'd both have successful businesses here in Washington State, and, you know, we'd be able to have a lifestyle schedule that maybe we could, since we're living together, we'd be able to do more stuff together. Because the way it used to be when we lived in Connecticut, okay, is that for 3 weeks of the month, I would work my ass off. Every day I'd be live streaming, you know, multiple hours or multiple sessions, 5, 6, 7 hours of gameplay a day in a lot of cases, depending on what new releases were out or whatever, editing videos and stuff. And it was like that for 3 straight weeks. And then I would take off 4 to 5 days in a clump when Leanna would come visit for the month. She would come visit for the month, and we'd have this kind of basically like a mini vacation where we'd be able to spend, you know, meaningful time together. We'd be able to go out and do some tourism, or maybe go on a little mini trip and have time, you know, going out shopping and doing stuff together, going to restaurants or whatever in Connecticut. That's how it was. It was kind of like 3 weeks of the month I worked my ass off, and then for a few days at the end of the month when Leanna came to visit, it was like almost like a relaxation period, mini vacation. And it was perfect because, number one, I would have enough videos saved up from the...
Okay, I'm actually gonna do something most people don't. It probably is actually a lot of work to stream like 6-7 hours a day. And I mean, I know he's playing video games, but most people don't play it like for 6-7 hours straight. That's a lot of time. That is a really, and to do it all day, every day, and have to like do commentary and keep your commentary fresh for like 7 hours a day. Like, your voice has got to be shot by the end of it. Like, that actually probably is pretty stressful. I mean, the thing is, he shouldn't be doing that. There should be a lot of other stuff. I mean, like, there's different kinds of work. There's work where I'm, like, in a meeting or I'm talking to someone. And then there's work where I'm just sitting at my desk and it's nice and quiet. And I'm just working away, maybe on like a PowerPoint, maybe I'm writing something, maybe I'm updating a website. And that's also work, but it's like not, it's kind of like relaxing work, or it's not nearly as stressful as having to deal with people because you're not really talking. But yeah.
Those 3 or so weeks before she visited to upload to YouTube during the time when we weren't going to be doing any kind of new gameplay or whatever, and it filled the time perfectly, so no one really complained. And number 2, it gave me some release. It allowed us to have quality time together, that we didn't have to worry about like business or YouTube or any of that shit behind the scenes, and we could just sit down and relax and do stuff together. And, you know, I would unwind and I would come back feeling refreshed and ready to hit the ground running for another, you know, batch of new stuff for the next month. Unfortunately, since we moved to Washington State, that has completely gone away, okay? In reality, what has happened here is my life has become work. Like, my life is 100% dictated by work. Meaning, every day, I have to get up and get ready for stream, because I stream every single damn day. Now, there are a couple exceptions, but today I'm not feeling well, right? Or I didn't get a lot of sleep the night before. Maybe I'll take a rest day here or there. Most part, those aren't fun days off. Those are days where I'm in bed all day because I feel like shit. Or every once in a while, very rarely, maybe 2 times a year, I'll schedule maybe a weekend or a day or two with Leanna where we'll go do stuff together, and therefore I'll take a day or 2 off. But for the most part, I'm here, 365 days a year. I'm here streaming almost every day, putting out new content for you on YouTube. I don't know if anyone else does that. Because I don't, again, I don't follow anyone else on YouTube. I don't watch anyone else's stuff. So
now I'm going to do something that most people, as I said, I'm feeling kind of sympathetic to this guy for once in my life. Well, towards him. I'm sympathetic towards a lot of people, but if I lived like DSP, I don't know how I'd manage. I mean, if we can believe anything this guy says, and it's hard because he lies about everything, but if what he says is true, he's so financially screwed that if he misses a couple days here and there, he will become homeless. That's how close he is. He has no savings. He has massive amounts of debt. He has nothing. If he got a serious illness, like if he fell down the stairs, and even if he was unable to do this for a week, he'd be completely fucked. And I mean, that is terrifying. And that's why all my life I've always, even if I have to forgo buying some nice stuff for myself, made sure that I've put aside money, keep putting aside money, as I talk about, I have my TFSAs, I have my diversified ETFs, and I discipline myself every week. I take a substantial portion of my paycheck and I put it into my TFSA so I have that money. And that means if I lose my job, if something happens, I can live for quite some time off of my savings, and I'm only 25. And this man was making a ton of money over his life. And he should have been saving it. Like, he shouldn't be in this situation. I mean, DSP made enough money and still does to live a decent middle class lifestyle. He makes more money than pretty much everybody who donates money to him. It's just sad. It frustrates me, and some people in the chat are pointing this out. A lot of us would kill to have made the money DSP did for the amount of work he put in and the amount of time he put in. And you have to keep in mind, working's expensive, and I brought this up before. I have to pay probably about, it's about $20 a day. I don't know, like $100 a week or so, maybe $80 a week or so on transit to get to and from work. And so yeah, I have to pay $80 a week to go to and from work. You gotta buy money to bring your lunch. You gotta buy work clothes. There's a bunch of stuff you have to do to working. It's expensive.
I have no idea how they have a work-life balance, but basically my life is work, okay? That's just how it is. Now, luckily, my work is video games, and video games are fun. If this work was anything else, I probably would hate my fucking life and want to jump out the window. But the good news is, because my work is fun stuff, being able to go on stream and laugh at games and talk to people on stream and on Twitter with social media and post up fun videos and edit cool reviews that people care about and stuff like that, that's why I love this job, all right? Because it's fun stuff for work. But there still has to somehow be a work-life balance. And unfortunately, what's happened over the past few years since I've been in Washington is that what I was hoping would happen, since, I was going to have an office, I was going to have a better setup, I was going to be able to do things differently, I was hoping that things would stabilize and I kind of have like a plateau and this is where I am and I just stay where I am with the business, and then I'd be able to say, okay, well, now I can finally get a schedule that's a little bit more lax, where I could, maybe have some time off or whatever. And eventually what I wanted to do, if I was going to keep making the money that I was save up money so I could go maybe get another kind of business, like a restaurant or some kind of brick and mortar business, and I could share my time possibly between YouTube and this business venture. Not that I wanted to do YouTube full time forever. I didn't. I kind of wanted to phase out of it. And if things had gone well, and if no things had gone badly, more than likely by now, 3 years living in Washington, I would have been at a point where I could say, okay, now maybe I can start taking the initial stages to phase out of being a full-time YouTuber and still do YouTube, but do that as a part-time thing while I go off and I have my own business going or whatever. And that didn't work out at all. For those who...
Okay, I was just talking to some people in the chat, but I just wanted to let that part go. I was just talking a bit about savings, and one of the things... I try to stress on this channel, and this is something I keep telling people: start saving when you're young. There's robo investors. I'll post a link to the one I use, which is excellent, and they have done great things with my money. Nice and simple, low risk, very low management fees. Wealthsimple doesn't even pay me. I just like their service. Because you can deposit, you can start with $20, you can do $100, you can deposit any amount, even if it's $1 a week. So just start saving soon. Don't be like Phil. Saving money is a lot of fun. Yeah.
Been following,
but no. So DSP is talking about he wanted to use the money that he was making to start another business. So he's talking about a brick and mortar business. He's talking about, investing in a restaurant, etc. And I mean, that is something a lot of people do with their money. There's a lot of things you can do if you have a little bit amount of money. My boss buys, or a guy I know buys, rental units in Detroit. He goes to Detroit. He buys some houses there. He buys houses in Detroit, like in the nice suburbs. And then he rents them out. You can get a property management company. They only take 10% off the top. They find tenants. They deal with most of the stuff. They occasionally send you maintenance bills, but that's a good way to invest money. Lots of people invest in Tim Hortons franchises in Canada. That's a decent place to park your money. Yeah.
Long you'll know, since I moved to Washington, it's been roadblock after hurdle, after challenge, after every possible fucking thing that could go wrong. False copyright strikes, multiple ones, DDoS attacks, right? Being swatted, basically getting my YouTube channels kicked out of YouTube search when it comes to gaming, which is probably the biggest detriment, because if my YouTube channels don't show up in...
Okay, let's just be honest. Imagine if Phil actually had a brick and mortar business. Can you imagine like what that would be like to have Phil as a boss? How awful that would be. It's just And you think this guy who can't even lift something is gonna like run a restaurant? Give me a break.
YouTube search when a new game comes out, I get 0 new viewers. Like literally 0 new viewers come into my channel to watch my stuff, because when a new game comes out and I'm playing it, none of my videos are showing up in YouTube search anymore, because those false copyright strikes a few years back completely fucked me. No matter how people want to spin it, they say, oh, Phil just uses it as an excuse and all that. No, like literally, I got false copyright strikes against my channel. I had to delete a ton of videos to prevent even more, because it was a loophole in YouTube's copyright system. I was instructed by YouTube to do this. I want to make this clear, because people don't seem to understand. I was instructed by fucking YouTube to do this because their system sucked, and they didn't want to recode their whole system for me. But when I deleted those videos, my YouTube channels just basically plummeted out of YouTube search, and they never came back. So here I am 2 years later from when all that copyright shit was going on, and I get no new viewership on my videos at all. The few people who kind of trickle in either discovered me by accident, or they came in for something completely negative. They heard that I'm an asshole. They heard that I'm terrible at games, and they want to see for themselves, and they come and watch like, oh shit, this is actually entertaining, and Phil's not that bad of a guy. I'm going to keep watching his stuff. It's ridiculous. That's the only new viewership I get anymore. Ask anyone.
Okay, so just on this whole false copyright thing. Now, I actually sympathize with Phil, because YouTube's copyright system is shit. It is complete shit. I remember what happened to me once was when I put up my reaction review of Dracula Untold, I got a copyright claim against my channel. And all I did was I used because all my reviews are a still frame of the movie poster with me talking over it. So I used the movie poster of Dracula Untold, and I talked over it. And Sony Pictures or whoever filed a copyright claim against me. And it shut down my ability to stream. It shut down my ability to upload longer videos. It did all kinds of shit to my channel. And that's one of the reasons I just never got into the habit of making edited content. Because like when I made my Ghostbusters review, that had to go through like a 3-week approval process in order to get anywhere. So yeah, he's completely right about that. Deleting the videos was stupid of him. I do think it's dumb though that they would subtract the views because he deleted the videos. That I think is really stupid, but yeah.
It's very hard now for me to get any new viewership on YouTube because of this bullshit that happened with DSP Gaming and the false copyright strikes. So I went from here's my income to here's my income to here's my income. Then the false copyright strikes hit, and I went down to here's my income. Oh yeah. Then I lost my contract with Machinima that was based on views, and now my contract on Machinima is based on ad revenue. So I went from this income to this income, and now this big fiasco we're going to talk about later on in this video, YouTube ad revenue is plummeted out of nowhere into the fucking toilet. So now my income, woo! So because of this, I've never been able to go from this schedule where I said, okay, when I first get to Washington, I'll work my ass off, and every day I'll stream it. Every day I'll work. And eventually it's going to get better because I can maybe not be a full-time YouTuber anymore. You know, there's the silver lining in the clouds, or the light at the end of the tunnel. And it just kept pushing back, getting further out of reach and further away. And now to the point where I don't know if I'm ever going to reach it, honestly. But anyway,
Like, look at this.
What I'm getting to here is something's got to give. Because I'm at a point now
like,
where literally with Leanna and I, we don't get to spend any quality time together.
Like, this guy's
we wake up in the morning, we see each other for half an hour, if that, to just basically wake up and snap each other out of being asleep and have a coffee or whatever. I'm immediately to work. Right? I can't even sleep in ever. I'm immediately to work every fucking day. Most people have an office job. You at least get a day or two off. Even people who have tough, contracting jobs. People who work, retail jobs and fast food jobs even. You have days off. I'm here every fucking day. For the sake, I'd never get that peace of mind where, man, tomorrow if I can just sleep in. Oh, yes. Or, oh man, I don't have to be on a schedule where I get this done and this done and this done. Every day my mind is, gotta do this for the business, gotta do this, then this, then this.
Okay, now I want to just be fair. I am running this on 120% speed, just to try to get through this a bit faster. But he is literally this erratic.
Then this. That's how my mind is all day. And then people say, "Oh, Phil, you get more done if you didn't have that relaxation time at night." I need that because all day from the moment I wake up, it's boop, 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 boop. And then finally at night, I give myself an hour or two to not think about that, to sit there with Leanna maybe and watch a little bit of TV or whatever. That's what I mean. That's our time together. We watch a TV show or two to unwind so we go to sleep. I mean, it's ridiculous. We don't have any time to go out and do anything together, to have any meaningful time. And I'll be honest here, especially now that she's working and she has a part-time job, we see each other even less. A lot of the times she's going to sleep early because she needs to get up early in the morning for work, while I don't need to. So I'm staying up, especially because a lot of times I'm babysitting videos, or, I'm still, a lot of times I'm getting stuck in the office now. I used to have a schedule where I'd be out of the office by 9:30. I'm getting stuck in here till 10:30, 11 o'clock at night now. Every day. It's like this now. To the point where it's like there's no work-life balance. We're not even seeing each other anymore. It's just a mess. It's stressful as shit. And the past couple of weeks people have been saying, Phil seems stressed out. Why do you think? This is exactly why. Because there's stuff going on behind the scenes with YouTube, stressing me out. And it's not just YouTube. There's a lot of other stuff going on as well that's pulling my attention away from the fun stuff.
Okay, let's just go back a second, because those
eyes
here till
were 10:30, 11 o'clock at night now. Every day. It's like this now. To the point where it's like there's no work-life balance. We're not even seeing each other anymore. It's just a mess. It's stressful as shit. And the past couple of weeks people have been saying, Phil seems stressed out. Why do you think? This is exactly why. Because there's stuff going on behind the scenes with YouTube, stressing me out. And it's not just YouTube. There's a lot of other stuff going on as well that's pulling my attention away from...
Look at this. Look at, how fucking manic this guy has gone. Like, look at him. This man is, and this is why I decided to do this. This is going to get fucking crazier as we go on. But this man is literally
the fun stuff,
having a psychotic episode.
Right now I'm trying to sell this fucking condo in Connecticut, and it's
when
driving
I'm off my medication
process, and every
I'm
day
not taking my mood stabilizers and I go full
this
manic.
Status update, that status update. I got people from the mortgage company contacting me. I got
this is what
the
I'm like.
real estate agent contacting me, and they're not jiving. They're not talking to each other properly. They're treating me like the middleman, which is wrong because I'm a customer, and it's just a mind fuck, basically. So all this happening, and there's never a day to just say, okay, get away from it. Never.
People in the chat are saying he's going to have a heart attack. You guys haven't seen shit
when it comes to it,
I'll try not to
sat me down the other day, and she's like, listen, this sucks. We need to change something because we're both stressed to fuck out to the limit. She's stressed out because she's at work, and then she comes home, she runs her own business with the soap making stuff, and she's cooking still. And here I am all day. I wish I could help her with a lot of that stuff, but I'm not. I'm in the office here streaming, and then I'm uploading videos, and I'm in the office working. And she even says, you're here all day, but I barely see you. It's true. So something's got to give. So we decided. We sat down and we had a serious talk, and we said, we got to fix this. How are we going to fix this? Here's what we'll do. I'm going to change my schedule starting this weekend. This weekend coming up, okay? So as early as it's either going to be Sunday or Monday.
Like I said, when I'm not on my meds and I'm manic,
either Sunday or Monday, and obviously I'll announce on Twitter when this is going to happen. I'm going to start working a little bit earlier, as in 1 hour earlier.
I'm a lot angrier,
so right now, my
more
streams,
aggressive.
Typically, they turn on at noon Pacific time.
Like
and then there's a pre-stream. Usually it's done by say 12:30, 12:40, depending on the day or whatever. And then we get started with gameplay. We get 3 to 3.5 hours of gameplay every day, right? That's changing. It's now going to start an hour earlier than that. Okay, so it used to be noon Pacific time. It's going to be now the way the streaming's been going so well on Twitch. People are engaged. I got regulars coming in every day. They're happy. We're chatting it up. We're having fun, discussing the games. And not only that, but people are subbing. People are cheering. Everything's going awesome with Twitch. Twitch has been pretty much the biggest change that I made. That's the most positive thing for
someone who does
of the viewers
live streams,
and me, because it's fun to do it and it's profitable. I'm making some money doing it, unlike when I was streaming on YouTube. So everything there is working out well.
It offends me that he charges money to interact.
There may also be some days
that really
where I'm going to work a
me.
little later. So maybe what'll happen is I'll stream earlier, and then I may end the stream a little earlier too if I need to. We'll see. But there may be days where I have heavy editing
the way
to do,
this
right? I
man
do a lot of
treats his
editing
fans
this day.
really pisses
So
me off, to be perfectly honest.
I'll try to divvy it out so I have more time for editing.
I know I have a temper, and now
This is why every night I put my schedule on
people,
Twitter.
but I try to
it
be as
behooves
nice
you to
to
follow
guys
me
as
at They Call Me
possible.
DSP to know every night what I'm doing the next day.
guys.
All right. So starting this weekend, I'll let you know on Twitter when this is going to go into effect, whether it's Sunday or Monday.
I'll speak
I am
up a
streaming
bit.
an hour earlier every single day. So more gameplay every day. But the trade-off here is that one day a week I'm going to be taking completely off from YouTube. There's no live streaming on Twitch, no video. Well,
is that better with regards to
videos that I
DSP
already
balance?
previously recorded and I batched up so that I could upload them and they would go live on that day that I have off. Exactly how it used to be when I lived in Connecticut, where I would have the longer streams and I would batch up the videos.
Oh, here we go. Okay, I'll turn desktop audio down. There we go. That should be a lot better.
Now, the day every week is not going to be the same day. Because
Sorry, I'm still learning how to use OBS.
Find a day that she has off, but also doesn't hinder with the game releases and stuff that are coming out so that I can work the new releases and stuff on release day. So I'll give you an example. This week, all this week coming up, starting this weekend, I'm working more. Extra stream hour or whatever, okay? And as you know, we've got the release of the Nintendo Switch a week from this Friday, which is on March 3rd. I will be covering that. It's coming. It's supposed to be coming from Best Buy. I'll be doing the live stream, unboxing it or whatever live like I usually do with hardware, and even hooking it up, and I'll be doing Zelda coverage.
I'm debating getting a Switch. I might wait for a couple more games to come out. I kind of want one. I still have some 3DS games I want to play through. I'm playing Persona Q at the moment.
And I'll split the videos between going live on Saturday and Sunday. So at least if you're around Sunday and you're bored, you want to watch new videos, there'll be new videos versus nothing. Okay? Well, I'm going to take that Sunday to have a real day off and spend it with Leanna, have quality time, and we'll find some fun stuff to do that day.
Is that any better?
We'll get our errands and chores done, we'll do it all, but we'll have the whole fucking day to do it, rather than me, I gotta get up, gotta get to stream, squeeze everything in. It's not working. Okay? So that's why we're making this definitive change. So, I'm excited. More live streaming every day that I'm here. For the days that I'm not here, you should still have stuff to keep you appeased. Alright? And hopefully this will work out for everyone. You'll get more of what you want. I'll get a day off a week. I think it makes sense. Alright?
Okay, so this dude's like, he bought the Switch on credit. Okay, so he's like, I'm going to buy this super expensive new console on credit. I don't know if I'm even going to use it, but I'm going to buy it so I can get Zelda. Then I'm going to take a day off right after Zelda comes out. I'm going to play it for 2 days and I'm going to stop playing it. I mean, this is just the way DSP is. I mean, remember when he got that Homefront the Revolution video that had a million views, and then he just went on a staycation? Okay, Phil, if you have enough time, okay, so you're gonna get all those videos saved up. That's fine. Why don't you make a montage out of them? Do like a montage of the first 10 hours of Zelda. No one else is gonna have a montage up. That's gonna be big. Then again, he hates Nintendo and he shits on Nintendo all the time.
Okay, that's number one, the big announcement that I had. That was the whole reason I was making this vlog to begin with. But now let's get to part two, the thing that I didn't plan on talking about. Because the bottom line is this month of February, I've been busy with so much stuff. If you remember, there was Resident Evil 7. I wrapped up my playthrough of that, and I even played a little bit in PSVR. I was playing Yakuza 0, right? I was playing all that stuff. And then Neo began, so I started playing Neo. And that took up a ton of time as I juggled it with Yakuza 0, and then we had For Honor, plus we had the Injustice 2 beta. So there was a ton going on. Not once in February, I'm not even lying here, did I look at YouTube views, or did I look at ad revenue or anything. I was staying completely away from it, because I said, if I just let myself play the games and not worry about stuff, it'll come through, right? And for the most part, if you watch the stuff this month, I think you'll realize, wow, Phil focused in on the games, and that's what it was about. It wasn't like, oh, he was complaining about views or money or anything. No, I didn't let it get to me because I didn't even fucking look until yesterday. Because I figured, gee, 3 weeks into the month, I probably should be responsible now and check and see how things are going. Not good, man. It's ridiculous at this point. Now, the thing is, views-wise, all right, just to give you some perspective here, views have been pretty steady on everything I'm doing. It's not like all of a sudden I got this giant decrease of viewership out of nowhere and it plummeted, and now, it didn't happen. What happened is, the middle of last year, the middle of 2016, YouTube changed the algorithm of how to count a view. They didn't tell anyone they were doing it, they never publicly explained it, but they changed the algorithm. So even though people are coming out and watching my videos, not all the views are counted, okay? It's a fact. There's no fucking other explanation for it. So, middle of last year, I started getting less views. Nothing I could do about it. But the good news was the ad revenue was still consistent. Throughout the end of the year of last year and everything was looking good. Then all of a sudden, in January last month, it says I made almost like no money during the month. Like I'm not, like basically about a third of, no, I take it back. Originally it looked like it was going to be a third of my income had vanished out of nowhere. That third, because the ad revenue had dried up from the holidays, that in January 2017, even though I worked my ass off, I did Dark Souls, the Redemption run, I played Resident Evil 7, which everyone loved, right? Very popular playthrough, people really enjoyed the coverage I did of that game. And YouTube was telling me, oh, well, you still made a third less than you did the month before. And I'm like, this is so fucking bullshit. So according to YouTube, because they don't do a good job of securing ad revenue for the website, let's face it, that's a truthful statement. Because the bottom line is, you can't just buy ads when it's easy. Oh, well, in the holidays it's easy. Everyone wants to advertise, so it's easy because we make a ton of money. So everyone should just backload all their fucking videos to the end of the year so they can make a shitload of money during the holidays, and then it dries up in January, so go on vacation in January. No, fuck you, Google. How about you do some actual fucking work and you actually reach out to the advertiser?
Okay, I just like to talk about this for a minute because this is like the craziest shit ever. I like he doesn't understand how like business works. I mean, everybody knows that the busiest time of year is Christmas, with regards to advertising. I mean, that's when all the advertising is going on. That's when everyone's just spending like crazy. It's a spending bonanza. I mean, everybody knows that. That's just the way the industry is. Industries have different times of year. Like my industry, like in my industry is like really busy in spring and really busy in fall, and summer's dead and winter's dead because people don't like working over the holidays and it's just too hard to get contracts together, etc. So that's just kind of the way it is. If you're in farming, you do a bunch of stuff during the fall, when you're harvesting, and in the spring, and the winter there's not that much to do. I mean, most businesses have a feast or famine time. So basic logic would suggest that during the hardcore gaming season, Phil works extremely long days, maybe like 10, 12-hour days, just streams the crap out of everything. He streams the crap out of everything. He does a bunch of video editing. He just goes full balls to the wall, and he runs himself down. And then in January, when ad revenue's down, you take a break. Maybe take a week off in January and just chill. You're not going to be making much money anyways, since really the ads suck in January. It goes from like, for me, it went from like $6 per thousand views to like 1 to 2.
And you explain to them you're going to have programs that are going to target certain demographics and certain group of people based off of the information on your site so that they will pay you money to advertise even in a dead month like fucking January. But they don't do that. They're lazy fuckheads. So they just, oh well, ad revenue's always bad in January.
It's supply and demand. If how it works is the more people who are trying to buy advertisements, the more they have to pay in a bidding war to get their advertisements on the air. That's why like the Super Bowl ads are so expensive, because more people are watching and there's more competition. So in January, not that many people are buying ads, so the price is going to be down. I mean, it's just basic supply and demand.
Everyone, wishy-washy, just fucking let it go. It's stupid. So me, I worked my ass off in January. Great views, right? Views were up. Views in January were higher than the past 3 fucking months. I'm not even kidding. But YouTube, because it's January and the ad revenue's down, oh, guess what? You lost a third of your income. Now, the good news here is 2 things happened. Number 1, you, the viewers, you guys, rallied. You went to my Patreon. You pledge. Actually, here you go. You went to my Patreon. You pledge.
I mean, most businesses that work like this, like if you ever seen The Deadliest Catch, like king crab season is like 3 months. You go up and you basically catch all the king crabs that'll be eaten for the next year. Okay, and you make maybe, I don't know, like 70, 80 grand for those 3 months. And then the rest of the year, you just aren't making money. Maybe you have another job for the rest of the year. But that's just how businesses work.
My pledges went sky high for January. It was the highest I've ever had on Patreon. And you actually made up, I'm not even kidding, you made up for the gap in income because YouTube basically sucks shit and doesn't get ads in January because they suck. So awesome. I was ecstatic. I was like, thank you. I couldn't be so happier with how that turned out because people rallied and said, no, this is bullshit. We like Phil. We want to keep doing this as a job because YouTube's lazy fucks and don't get ads. So no excuse. Let's keep this going. Let's get Phil some support he needs. And you did it. Thank you, everyone. Seriously, like, amazing. Okay? Now, here's what happens every fucking year until this year. Ad revenue goes down in January, and then in February, guess what happens? Movies start to come out, and you got Valentine's Day holiday, and you've got the Super Bowl. The combination of those three things turns YouTube ad revenue completely around, and you start seeing a massive influx of new advertisements around the first week of February that usually continues from February all the way into the early summer. So usually ad revenue on YouTube is fairly consistent and good from February through like maybe April or May. Then it starts to dry out a little bit again when the summer hits, okay? So, that's what should have happened. And the bottom line is, all right, yes, in the month of February, my business was down a little bit viewers-wise, meaning about 10 to 13% less views. In fact, I have the statistic. I brought the statistics to show you guys because as I was looking at YouTube Analytics yesterday to try to see how I was doing for the month, my jaw dropped. And here's what I saw, all right? So here's what I saw. So for the time period of the beginning of February to yesterday, okay, that time span, compared to the end of January, which was January 12th to 31st.
Like, this is literally, like, these have turned into, like, quarterly corporate presentations. Like he's literally, like, look at this. He has the fucking, like, quarterly profit statement up. Like, what is this? Is he presenting? This is... Just, I mean, let me just think of, let me just address this for a minute. Now, if okay, let's take him for his word that his business is dependent upon the game industry to release games. I guess what he could, like, do is maybe find some, like, old games, find something he's interested in. I mean, you can make anything interesting. I do reaction reviews of... The first reaction review I ever did was of Scooby-Doo Zombie Island. And I got such a positive response to it. People were like, Archie, I never heard of this movie. I remember this movie from my childhood. It's cool that you're talking about it. And that set off the entire reactionary review series. I get a bunch of reviews on just random things. I like more reviews on stuff than on like new shit. Like, you just have to be interesting. It doesn't really even matter what the content is. And the problem is he's just not interested.
My views are down about 13%, all right? That's okay. And you want to know why views are down? It's very simple. Because at the end of January, we had Resident Evil 7. Huge, hype. Everyone was excited to see what this game was. It was an enigma. No one knew what this game was going to be. And when it finally was released, it ended up being really good. And it's funny because I played Resident Evil 7 for 3 days, and it single-handedly skyrocketed my views and my revenue and everything. You know what I mean? Can you imagine what January would have been if there was no Resident Evil 7? It was already down a third of income, seriously, and now they're going to tell it would have been even worse, right? So, this month, February, it's down a little bit. I expected this, to be quite honest with everyone. Because Neo, yeah, it's a great game. All the people who like Dark Souls are going to watch me play that. But that's not my entire viewer base, right? That's a select group of people who like to see me play these hyper-difficult games and fail and rage and all the like that comes with it, right? Now, the flip side of that is I've actually been doing way better at Neo than I do at Dark Souls. So a lot of group of people who like to see me rage and fail haven't been around.
He's getting more and more manic.
Like, fuck, Phil's
it's just
going
to be fucking crazy to the end of this. I think I might just cut the second half of this.
You know, there haven't really been many
crazy.
other games outside of Neo this month that were superb or that anyone really wanted to see. My Injustice 2 coverage did pretty good. I played Injustice 2 for a couple sessions. I think it was 3 sessions. And overall, the viewership was pretty good for that. It's what I would expect for a fighting game, quite honestly. Pretty good. So I was pleased with that. For the beta, that went well. For Honor was a fucking stinky turd. First of all, the game is not fun to watch. The game isn't. It's just not. It's slow-paced action, melee combat.
Okay, to be fair,
after
For
you've seen
Honor
execution
does
a few
look like
times or
shit.
whatever, you realize you've seen it all.
It looks awful.
And the game's not very good in my opinion. As you know, I reviewed it on my KO Gaming channel. I'm not going to get into that here. I'm not surprised that For Honor did not garner any kind of real viewership interest, because I don't think the game's very good at all. I think that people are bought into the hype because the mainstream media rated it so high, oh, it's so good, and then you fucking play it, and people are after 2 or 3
For
weeks
Honor
say this game's
does look
fucking
really
boring as
shitty,
shit,
and
and
I'm not
stop
gonna
playing.
lie.
And that's why I rated it like I did. But yeah, didn't get any interest in viewership. People basically saw me play it once or twice, and were like, this sucks, and that was it. So outside of that, what else have I been doing? Yakuza 0.
I mean,
which
he's
we
only
know
sped up
my
20%.
Yakuza playthroughs are
It's
for
not
a
a
niche
ton.
audience. All right. Now the good thing about my Yakuza
But
playthroughs
he is
is
fucking
that
going
usually over
crazy.
time they get viewership. What happens is people who played the game like to look for people playing in English rather than in Japanese with English subtitles and reading out the dialogue and stuff. And usually over time, it takes a while. Usually it takes 6 months or more. But those Yakuza playthroughs I've done in the past got good attendance in the long run. So hopefully the Yakuza playthrough will turn out well, and it'll be worth the amount of time and effort that I'm putting into the game, because boy is it freaking long. Okay. But for the most part, what else was there? This
Doesn't
month?
this
Nothing.
man
So, of course,
sound
my
like
views
he's super
are down.
interested
This is to
in
be expected.
Yakuza?
Now, all right. Yeah, it would have sucked.
Doesn't he say,
compared to
sound like
January,
sound who
my
really
ad was, or my
is just
money was down a little
engaged,
bit
is
from
going to
when I did January.
provide
But like I said,
quality
typically
commentary?
in February,
Yeah.
ad revenue goes up on YouTube. It always has. There's a ton of new ads on YouTube in February, right? And you've seen them everywhere. I've seen them on YouTube. You've seen them on YouTube, right? So what gives? Well, I look at my ad revenue, and here's what YouTube told me. This is the ad revenue statistic. So this isn't ads playing or people who watched ads. Don't get this has nothing to do with ad blocker, nothing like that whatsoever. What this means is the amount of money that I made on YouTube from this period of time.
Literally,
compared
he's
to
presenting
February,
to his
I'm down
shareholders.
35%.
The worst kind of shareholders, though, because they don't get shares and they don't get like
I'm now down a
profits.
third more from last month. So at this point, I'm not even exaggerating. Basically, my income for February is down about 50% from what I would usually make on YouTube, and I made all last year. Why? This makes no fucking sense. If this is the truth, if in February my views have been down 13%, then my ad revenue should be down 13%, right? Because 13% less people watch my videos, so 13% less ads reviewed, and therefore I should be making 13% less pay. Not fucking 35%. Nothing about this number makes any fucking sense at all. Any logical human would look at this and say, what the fuck does that mean? That is bullshit. That makes no sense. It would be one thing if you were on YouTube in February and there were supposed to be ads and there were none. Where were all the ads? I don't understand. I've seen them.
Look at this.
Ads playing, product
guys,
ads playing
he's going
all over the
fucking
place.
crazier
So
by
why
the
the
minute.
fuck did I not make any money when everyone watched these fucking ads?
Look, his
What the fuck?
meltdown's starting.
It makes no fucking sense.
Look
so here's
at
what
this.
happened. Okay. I wrote my partnership company, Machinima, because I need to get to the bottom of this. What the fuck is going on? First of all, I thought maybe the reporting was wrong, okay? So I wrote them this notice last night. I said, I need an answer. Because this is insane.
look at
How
the
am I supposed to
way
pay my
he's
bills
twitching.
when you're not telling me I'm making 50% less money
Look
than
at,
I used
like,
to?
the
It has nothing to do with
Twitch. Is
me.
this guy on
my views are only
drugs?
down like 13%, so it's not me. This 35% dip is insane, and it's YouTube, not me. Okay? So here's what Machinima responded with. First of all, as usual, I don't think they answered my question or understood my question. Whenever I write to Machinima now, I basically kind of get an answer, but it's not the answer I want, and I have to go back to them 3 to 5 times to get the answer I want. So this time, they came back
Get
with the
the answer
data.
I want,
And they said,
yeah.
well, Phil, if you look at the amount of ad impressions you had in January, and you have the amount of ad impressions you've had in February, and they did all this math, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to get into the fancy part of it, but
Well, you
the
just
summary
did.
is, according to Machinima, my ad impressions, meaning the amount of people who watched ads on a daily basis, is about the same. I didn't go down when it came to the amount of people watching advertisements in February at all. Basically, what the guy explained is he's like, well, you got to understand that February is going to be several days shorter than January. So yeah, you're going to have a little bit less income this month to begin with. And yeah, as you can see, you have 13% less views this month, so you're going to have that dip in ad revenue. And that was basically where he ended it. And I'm like, now, okay, so this good data, because the data is basically telling me that it's not that like people came in with ad blocker out of nowhere, a bunch of people, and blocked every ad on my video, all my videos on YouTube, and I was making no ad revenue because everyone was ad blocking. That wasn't the case. According to Machinima, the ad impressions are pretty much equivalent for January and February. So there's no change. The same people are coming and watching all my stuff. But for some reason, I made 35% less money. And that's what there's no explanation from. So I pushed back to Machinima. I said, no, thanks for the
I'm
data.
just
But that's
gonna
not what
skip
I want.
ahead of it. This
No,
is
their
boring.
paycheck cut away. Just think about that. You go to work, you work your ass off, the same schedule you always work, right? And then they give you your paycheck and it's a third less. Oh, well, sorry, no explanation. What the fuck? What would that? You'd go nuts. You'd fucking sound to sue your ass. So, it's bullshit that this is happening with YouTube. I deserve an explanation, right? You would think that if this was affecting bigger YouTubers, they'd all be talking about it. Oh my god, even though I get 1 million views on every fucking video, which is me yelling at a fucking camera, talking head about some dumb fluff piece, and you make millions of dollars doing it, my ad revenue's down. You know, you would think you would hear that. No, I heard nothing, right? Have you heard? I heard anything from anyone saying
here's
that
the
ad revenue was a
meltdown.
disaster in February.
Look at this.
So I don't know what's going on. I don't know how this is affecting me personally. Only, am I being targeted? Is it an error? Was it a mistake? You know, is it going to be fixed? What is the deal? So I'm waiting to hear back.
Okay, just an actual side note. I don't really e-beg, but if you're watching my videos, please turn off ad block, because I actually do make some money off of these. And I consider the money I make from advertisements as kind of being, I don't know, compensation for part of this. So yeah, if you could turn off ad block, I'd appreciate it. You don't have to watch the ads, you can just skip them.
But the bottom line is,
please have it on.
I'm in a bad place, man. This is bullshit. And at this point, I've been doing YouTube for 8 years. I've been doing it for a living for 6. This is the epitome of bullshit. This is called a complete lack of accountability by a major corporation that basically thinks that they're hot shit. Google thinks they're hot shit. And when I see something like this, I say, this is bullshit. And I don't put up with this shit anymore. I'm really not. I love doing what I do. I love live streaming. The live streaming experience that I went back to Twitch has been amazing. Can't say anything more positive about it. I love putting out videos for YouTube. Listen, KO Gaming is having a reinvigoration right now, where I'm having not only my own edited content like game reviews and countdowns and first impressions videos, but we've got viewers who are submitting content, montages, and abridged versions of playthroughs. And this is how you don't play videos. It's kind of a renaissance when you think about it for my stuff, where I'm now involving myself with the viewers directly. This is great. This is positive stuff. I'm not going to let myself get shut down by a bunch of fucking nerds who work for Google who don't know how the fuck to do their jobs. I refuse. It would be one thing if I totally ruined my own self here, and I was here, and all of a sudden one day, I was caught off camera saying racist remarks, and that was the end of it or something like that. Last year, the incident, right? That could have been the end of me. We got through that. We've been through so much shit together. In 8 years I've been on fucking YouTube. Do you really think that because a fucking nerd at Google doesn't know how the fuck to actually enable ads properly or count ad revenue or whatever the fuck they did wrong, do you think I'm gonna let that end me? Fuck no. We're gonna find a way to fix this, alright? So, I'm waiting for an answer from Machinima. I'm gonna pound the fuck out of them if they don't answer me. I'm gonna get an answer. I want a fucking answer, because this is my livelihood. And no one has a right to just take my livelihood away from me like this. They've already fucked me with their bad copyright system and the false copyright strikes. They've
Okay. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. This is so fucking crazy. Like, what does this man think he's gonna do? Like, okay, so let's just dissect this. So you're a dude who plays video games for a living, and you're calling other people nerds. I mean, the people at Google actually produce something valuable. It's just, I know I have a high-pitched laugh. It's just kind of the way I am. I mean, this is just, like, what the fuck does he think he's doing? It's just, oh, I don't even know where to start. I'm just going to keep going.
By taking my YouTube channels out of YouTube search, they fucked me again, left and right, every few
Okay, to be
years,
fair,
changing the
Google is
algorithms
shit.
of how popularity on YouTube is calculated, and my ass is so fucking stretched out at this point, it's time to push back. Like that for an analogy. So,
okay, I
point,
think we have to listen to that again. That manic laughter. I'll be quiet.
Already fucked me with their bad copyright system and the false copyright strikes. They fucked me by taking my YouTube channels out of YouTube search. They fucked me again, left and right, every few years by changing the algorithms of how popularity on YouTube is calculated. And my ass is so fucking stretched out at this point, it's time to push back. How you like that for an analogy?
Wow.
So,
listen to that laugh. That laugh is fucking crazy.
Until I get one, and it better be a goddamn
what's
good
up
one,
with this?
I'm not accepting, it's just some flaky bullshit. No. Because if this happens again in March, that's it. I'll tell you right now. January, that was bad. But because of your support on Patreon, it made up for it, and I was okay. Alright? This month, this is terrible. This is disaster mode. Because now we're talking thousands of dollars, I'm not exaggerating here, in lost revenue. And if this doesn't fix itself, I don't know how I'm going to...
If this doesn't fix itself, like, what does that mean? Like, dude, you gotta, like, you got to realize this shit isn't working. You got to realize that, like, you got to fix the problem. Now, to be fair to DSP, Google is shit. I like, let's be not mince words here. They fuck up on all kinds of stuff. They fuck up on the okay, so Rayboyman keeps saying that a lot of this did get kind of addressed in the latest vlog. I understand that this video isn't so much about DSP like the specific problem. It's just about him going fucking crazy on film. But yeah, AdSense is kind of shitty. Google's kind of shitty. How they run YouTube, they do fucking change shit around all the time. Google Plus was ass. Yeah.
I pay my bills come April because the way it works is it's a 2-month stagger. So right now, I'm making less money. I'll receive that lower amount of money in April. I don't know, and especially because guess what April is? It's tax time because I got to do my taxes in the next few weeks to month, and the first payment due is due in April. How the fuck am I going to pay my taxes if I'm getting thousands of dollars less a month? This is insanity.
DSP tries it, defrauding the federal government. Okay, guys, like, if you know anything about how taxes work, given that this man's business is operating at a loss, he's not going to, like, have to pay any taxes. He's going to pay, like, virtually no taxes. This whole thing is just bullshit. DSP tries it, defrauding the federal government. DSP tries it. Well, DSP, I think you're going to find the IRS is an even greater villain than even Hideo Kojima.
This is fucking insanity is what it is. YouTube is about to fucking get the shit blown away from them because I'm not putting up with this anymore. I don't care if I have to make fucking videos to get people to come together to put an end to this shit.
I'm not putting up with this anymore. I'm coming to your house. I'm coming to your house, Google. I'm going to get in your face. I'm going to go in your nose. I'm going to go up your ass. I'm going to your house.
But I'm not going to let my livelihood get pulled out from under me because these fucking assholes don't do their job. I'm just not. 8 fucking years of my life, I'm going to throw away now because these assholes can't fucking do their job? No. I'm going to fucking... Oh my God. We're going to figure this out. We're going to figure this out somewhere. All right? So anyway, you can tell I'm a little peeved about this fucking issue, right? This is my fucking life. I've worked my ass off to be where I am to keep doing this as a job, and I don't want to see it go away. All right? Now, the obvious things you can do to help. Again, I hate to be a broken fucking record and make a video like this every month. I never want to make a video like this again. I wish I could win the goddamn fucking lotto so I never have to make a video like this again and never have to mention views. I can just come in and play games casually for fun and share that experience with you. I don't know where we're going to get there. I got to go start buying lotto tickets, I guess. But I digress. I don't ever want to do this, but it seems like once a month I have to make a fucking video like this because YouTube fucks the fuck up every month now, alright? The ways you can help. Number 1, watch the videos. Watch the streams. But that's common sense. Everyone knows that. And according to YouTube, you're doing that. Right? Okay, there was a 13% dip in February. Yeah, because I'm playing Neo all fucking month and the games were slow.
Okay, so guys, this is the entire reason. Like, I was not going to stream this. I was not going to make a video about this. But just look at this. This guy's gone fucking ape shit. This guy, like, he's freaking out. Like, look at his eyes. He looks like he's on drugs. Like, this guy needs serious help. He's fucking snapped. And it's not even funny anymore. I know I'm laughing about it, but it's just like it's God. It's like it's depressing. This guy has gone from being just kind of this asshole to just snapping like a fucking twig on screen. Like this
March,
is
just give you some perspective.
like look at
we got
this.
Horizon Zero Dawn, the launch of the Switch, Zelda Breath of the Wild,
What is he looking at?
Wildlands, Mass Effect Andromeda, the final Dark Souls 3 DLC, and MLB, all in March. Plus, there's more. I think there's gonna be episodic content and stuff coming out. A ton of shit, right? So March is gonna be crazy. I think people are gonna be watching in droves. But I gotta fucking make it there. I gotta pay my bills. You know what I mean? So outside of just watching the videos and watching the stream, you can pledge to my Patreon. And I'll say it.
Okay, I just like to pause for a minute and just ask the chat. Am I being reasonable here by thinking this guy's acting like he's on drugs? Like he's just completely fucking flipping out here, and it's kind of really disturbing. Just the chat, just please give me feedback on this, because I don't know if I'm just going crazy or maybe I'm overstating this, but he's just like...
And again, a dog.
He's having
I'm
a meltdown.
serious about this. There's thousands of people who watch my content on a daily basis. If you watch the videos I put out on YouTube, At least 1,000 people a day
in the chat
are watching
agree.
my videos on YouTube. When a big game comes out, Resident Evil 7, ridiculous amounts of people came out to watch that, right? $1, ladies and gentlemen, to my Patreon. If everyone who watched gave me $1 a month, I would never have to mention this horse shit ever again. I would be free of the fucking shackles of YouTube's ineptitude, these fucking nerds who don't know how to do their goddamn jobs, and I'd be able to fucking just be here and play games and relax and have fun like I used to. Because a lot of people, I'll be honest, say this, Phil, why is it that back then, way back then, when you started on YouTube, you were so, you didn't seem to have stress. You didn't ever have to talk about money. You didn't start talking about money until 2012. That's true.
Okay, I don't think he's actually on drugs, but
then,
he should be.
It was the gravy train, baby. When I signed with Machinima in 2011, are you kidding me? I was making insane amounts of money. Like dirty, rotten, this is way too much fucking money for just playing video games kind of money. And it was crazy. Why on earth would I ever have felt any stress around me, right? For me, it was like I was thrilled. I was excited. Every person that I ran into, I was ecstatic and happy with. And it was a different thing. Then, of course, reality hits and things don't go as well as planned. And
okay, let's hear that again.
Play games and relax and have
this
fun.
Is this is fucking crazy.
People,
listen to this
honest,
again.
Say this, Phil. Why is it that back then, way back then, when you started on YouTube, you were so, you didn't seem to have stress. You didn't ever have to talk about money. You didn't start talking about money until 2012. That's true. Because back then, it was the gravy train, baby. When I signed with Machinima in 2011, are you kidding me? I was making insane amounts of money. Like dirty, rotten, this is way too much fucking money for just playing video games kind of money. And it was crazy. Why on earth would I ever have felt any stress around me, right? For me, it was like I was thrilled. I was excited. Every person that I ran into, I was ecstatic and happy with. And it was a different thing. Then, of course, reality hits and things don't go as well as planned. And, things just kind of go on a downward spiral in a lot of ways. And, now we are where we are now. And now the stress, like I said, hopefully the schedule change I'm about to do is going to fix stuff. It's going to, at least in some proportion, give me the stress relief that I need to have the day off a week. But that's the thing. The stress is probably never going to permanently go away, but we have to find a way to at least keep the fucking business afloat. Okay? So, Patreon, please. I mean, there's some people who were incredibly generous last month. Thank you. I just want to say this. Please do not feel pressured to pledge to my Patreon unless you can actually afford it. I want to say that too. I know that it's not, oh my God, Phil, I've been watching this content for 8 years and he's going to go away now because YouTube's fucking him month over month. Well, I don't really have a lot of money and, I really need the money to do my own stuff, but I'm going to give him my money. No, please no. Only if you have the disposable income, you like watching my streams, you like my videos, and you can, afford to do it, please then. Because then that's the kind of people who, that's, again, if people who watch, everyone who watch, $1 a month for me to keep putting out the insane amount of stuff that I do for you. I think $1 a month is a pretty good fucking asking price. You know what I mean?
Okay, look at how much bullshit this is. And this is the thing with DSP, because I like to think of myself as being a pretty compassionate guy. And, some of this starts to tug at my heartstrings. Like I laugh about it, but at the same time, it's just... I feel bad for him. I mean, he's just such a sad, pathetic person. But that he immediately goes out of this, depressed, everything's fucked, and is like, give me money. I want money. I want money. But then he does this, he does this thing where he's like, oh, no, but if you have money, if you don't have the money, it's okay. It's okay, but I do all this stuff for you, so please give me money.
And I never wanted to be in this situation. I never adopted Patreon. I never accepted donations until I needed them. Right? YouTube has put me into this fucking position. And I'm not saying that there aren't a lot of choices on my behalf that haven't put me in this position either, right? Of course there were bad miscalculations, finances and stuff. But honestly, who could have foresaw the fucking tidal wave of bullshit that happened, starting with me moving across the country, right? There's so much bullshit that's happened. Who could have predicted that? If my income had stayed where it was when I moved across the country, I wouldn't need to be doing this. I never would have adopted Patreon. When I moved in 2014, I was making enough money to pay for everything and more some. And then all of a sudden, the income goes down, false copyright strikes, all this. Now I gotta adopt Patreon and this and that. Ridiculous, okay? So, please, if you can, pledge to my Patreon. If you want to get in for this month, you only have 6 days left. Actually, by the time you watch this video, it's probably only 5 days left to get in for February. So please, consider it, all right? It's very important at this time with this fucking ridiculous 35 goddamn % less income compared to last month, which was already down. This is insanity at this point, all right? It's basically do or die time. It's emergency time. If you you watch my live streams on Twitch, consider subbing to my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/DarkSidePhil, and or cheering during the streams. People have been doing this tremendously since I came back, and it's really helped me, all right? Twitch has now become a significant source of income for me on a monthly basis. I'd like to keep it like that. If we could get more people coming...
Can you imagine if he hadn't have rage quit Twitch like a petulant child? Like, can you, like, imagine how much he would have made over time? He wouldn't be nearly as bad a situation, and his audience would have grown.
To the streams and more people engaged and doing this stuff, maybe, right? It'll become 50-50.
Look at that
With 50% of my income's from Twitch and 50% from YouTube. It's never been like that. YouTube's always been like 90%. And then you got Patreon, you got a little bit here maybe from Twitch or whatever that takes up that last percent. Maybe we need to find a way that I can make more money on Twitch so that it's not that big of a concern with the YouTube ad revenue issues anymore, all right? But outside of that, can anyone think of ways that basically I can have fundraising and or make money doing what I'm doing that doesn't involve direct ad revenue with YouTube, all right? One idea...
In other words, could you think of more ways to give me money? I mean, well, why did he get rid of his Amazon affiliate? His Amazon affiliate link was actually making decent money. I think he rage quit that because he's a petulant child. I mean, every time he makes money, he winds up just kind of giving up on it.
The idea that I had would be like merchandise, like t-shirts, like Teespring, where you can order these t-shirts. It's a campaign, so they don't make the shirts unless it reaches a certain number of orders. So there's no initial investment.
By the way, as I've said before, I have announced the Argent Surf Submission Program, or ASS as I like to call it. And ASS is where I expect you all, the surfs who watch my videos, because no more excuses for not supporting me now.
That can't.
So I want you guys to take my reaction reviews, and I want you to add movie footage into them and to add music into them and to just do all this, to make this stuff for me. And once that's done, then I'll put them up on my channel and I'll monetize them. And I might give you a shout out in the description if I remember.
Investment cost, because I couldn't afford that anyway. I have no money. There's no initial investment cost, and people can maybe get t-shirts. Now last year, it was a dummy shop that I created on Teespring. It wasn't one that I was serious. I made really terrible designs on there. I know they were bad. But I just wanted to see, could I get the shop up and running? Would there be interest? And it seemed to me that last year people were like, yeah, Phil, we'd be interested in Teespring, but not, shitty designs. You got to have someone make good designs or whatever. And I'll be honest, I was thinking about doing it, and I kind of got lost in the shuffle, and I never really ended...
You got lost in the shuffle? What the fuck does that even mean?
...going back and doing it, okay? I just got enveloped in all the work last year between the vlogging and the new KO gaming stuff and the DSP gaming stuff. And it sucks because that was an opportunity that I had that I squandered. Here's the deal. If there are people out there who are good at artwork, I mean, I've got amazing people who've been submitting some...
Okay, I'm going to be pretty honest. If he makes a shirt that says nothing I could do, it is what it is, I might actually buy it.
Really impressive fan art to my streams and stuff recently. You've seen it on pre-stream if you've been watching. If you want to make some artwork, high-quality artwork for shirts, I'd be willing to toss you a few bucks. Now, I can't throw you $1 million, and I certainly can't give you a cut of every sale of a t-shirt, because the whole point here is fundraising for me so I can keep doing this as a job, all right? But I would toss, we'll talk, we'll negotiate. I have no idea what a going rate is. A few bucks here, if it's a design that's so good that I end up selling a whole bunch of shirts and making profit on it, then maybe I would, I'd be able to give you something reasonable for it. But that's the thing, I'm in a situation where, oh man, if Phil would just have good designs. That's nice. Well, I'm not a graphic artist, and...
Okay, just a couple people I think were unsure in the chat. The whole Argent Surf Submissions thing is obviously a complete parody. It's just a joke. I occasionally will do videos where I just yell, like, autistically. Like, I briefly had made a Patreon... Okay, this is a great screen cap. But I did a Patreon and, like, all the perks and shit were just insulting people. Yeah, so he basically wants people to do free work for him. It's just such a douchey
I don't want to pay
thing.
anyone. You know what I mean?
And I mean, to be fair, like, fans do things for people. They'll submit fan artwork. Maybe they'll like make a song about you. There's all kinds of people who do stuff like they'll make intro montages. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah.
So, if you're interested, you want to maybe make a few designs. Last night on Twitter, I asked, gee, what would people like? And there were so many suggestions, sayings and things, and nothing I could do. Wow, dude, I was rolling. That's bullshit. Instant death. Some of the catchphrases I said, like blah 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 triplets or whatever from over the years. And if there was good artwork with it, people would probably want to buy the shirt. But that's the problem. I'm not an artist. Okay.
Okay.
If you are, and you want to make some designs that are going to buy me as like a demo or whatever, and then we can maybe hash out some details of how I can pay you back or whatever. All right? Let's talk. Again, I told you by the ways. Email, darksonville@hotmail.com. You can tweet me, although I would say don't tweet me for stuff like this. I get so many tweets a day, it's going to go into the shuffle. Email me. Or, excuse me, I swallowed the wrong way. Or you can PM me on my forums at kingofhate.com. All right? So that's one idea I have, Teespring. It's not going to be a great idea. Maybe I'll sell 20 shirts a month and I'll have a couple $100s of extra revenue or something. You know what I mean? I really don't foresee that because I put t-shirts on Teespring. All of a sudden, I'm selling hundreds a month. I really don't foresee that's going to happen. I mean, when I was in the epitome of my popularity in 2012, and I was doing Project 7, those shirts barely sold. So, you know what I mean? I don't know what the solution is here. A lot of people have said, make better perks for your Patreon. And I always say, okay, sure, suggest some. And then they immediately suggest perks I can't do. Like, why don't you do a show or a vlog or something where it's private for a day or two, you only give it to your patrons, but then later on it goes public for everyone else, so it's like advanced access. Can't do it. Because already when I started with Patreon 2 years ago, I had people who hate me who said, I know what I'll do. I'll push his Patreon under a different name, and as soon as he has one of those videos, I'll just fucking publicly give everyone the link, and everyone will have the video from day one. Fuck DSP. And that's the truth. I'm not making that up. So I can't. That's one of the things that other people do. I cannot do advanced access to videos.
I love his impression of the SOK.
Videos with Patreon. It's just, I can't do it, all right? I wish I could. I can't. Some people have said, why don't I have an ongoing patron multiplayer event where patrons can pledge a certain amount and they get to play with me every month? It's a good idea, but the reason I haven't done that is because there's not always consistently a lot of good multiplayer games to play, quite honestly. I mean, take a look last year. Last year, all right, all the multiplayer games that came out, Call of Duty, Battlefield 1, Uncharted 4, Doom. At the end of the year, I did a multiplayer event. Guess what? Everyone wanted to play Overwatch and only Overwatch. It's like, well, to do an event like that, plus it's a ton of work to have logistically have everything work, and especially the schedule that I've been working, as you know, it's hard to make that work. And honestly, how many people are going to pledge just specifically for that event? We had, maybe 20 people who were interested and who participated in the Patreon multiplayer event at the end of the year. So to do that every month as an ongoing thing will get me, an extra $50, but I have to reshuffle my entire schedule to do it. I don't think that's going to honestly work. I don't, okay? What are other ideas? You know what I mean? Like, what are other perks? 9 times out of 10, when people say you should have better perks for Patreon, and then they tell me the perks they want, it's all stuff I can't do. And it's ridiculous because you look at other people who are super successful on Patreon. Oh, well, if I reach this certain amount of funding, I'll make a special video. It's like, but that's what I do now. I make videos every fucking day.
Honestly, I think most of his his detractors would spend $5 to play with him. Now, somebody said, would you do? Somebody said, would you do an interview with DSP? Yeah, I would. I mean, DSP has a sorry, someone's asking if there's any way to contact me. Probably the easiest way is to just send me a message on either my Facebook page or my YouTube page. I have an edgy Facebook account, and if you send me a message on my official Argent Facebook page, I'll normally just add you as a friend and I'll talk to you on Facebook chat, because that's the main source I use. It's not under my real name or anything, so it doesn't really matter if I add people there. So yeah, so I'll just post a link to that if anyone wants to message me there. I haven't checked my messages there in a while, and I'll add you if you wanted to talk to me.
Yeah, well, what special video am I going to make? I'm already doing game reviews. It's like the events that I do as rewards for Patreon every month. Those are time consuming, but I do them as a thank you to the patrons for hitting the funding. But I don't know, like, what special event could I do outside of a Patreon goal? I don't know, you know? And people say, like I said, it sucks because there's other people who make Patreon into such, well, if you pledge to Patreon, you know, we're going to do a special Q&A show when we hit this certain criteria, and we're going to do this playthrough or whatever. I already do that. I already have Ask the King. I already do all that shit. Those are the perks I have now. If you pledge, you can get your questions answered on Ask the King, and you can get a private Q&A video. That's what I do now. So I don't know what else I could possibly do on Patreon that I would have time to do. Keep in mind, I'm a one-man show. That's the other problem. Oh, well, this particular group of YouTubers has a Patreon, and they have these amazing goals where they do these events. Yeah, because they're a group of fucking people. They're not one man working out of his office from Washington, you know, where they can, one person has time to work specifically on this project or whatever. I don't have that flexibility. I'm here, I gotta cover games, and I gotta be doing my own thing every day. Now I'm gonna be working even harder every day. I'm gonna be working an extra hour or whatever. So I can take that day off and unwind, but I don't know. If you have concrete suggestions for Patreon to improve it and you think more people would pledge, please, by all means. By all means. You can post them on the forums, again, email me, whatever. I need this feedback. I need positivity. I need support. I need basically everyone to say, this sucks. What's going on with Phil and YouTube? Let's get the word out. What's going on? Maybe we can get some extra people watching and stuff. Maybe we can get people who normally wouldn't pledge to Patreon pledging. You know, last month, amazing positive outpouring. And again, I gotta say thank you to everyone. You guys saved my ass in January. But again, now it's February. Worst situation now. For no fucking...
You guys saved my ass, but it's a worse situation now. Translation, give me more money, you pleb.
Explanation or reason. And again, I gotta fucking find out. I'm gonna fucking hound until I get a fucking answer, because I can't let my business go out of business because someone at fucking Google's a dipshit and doesn't know how the fuck ads work, ad revenue, and they fucked me over. So I'm gonna find out what the fuck's going on. But that doesn't solve the immediate problem that I need income and then, you know, to make up for this lost income, okay? So, please, watch the videos, spread the word about the videos, Patreon, on Twitch when I'm streaming, sub and or cheer, and ideas. Whether it's Teespring, or artist, you want me to submit some cool t-shirt ideas, please send them my way. Or you have good ideas for Patreon goals, send them my way. This is the time. Interactivity is an all-time high right now with all the stuff that I'm doing. I'm loving the people. So many people are submitting videos now for KO Gaming. It's crazy. Right now, if I have time right now, I'm going to edit one. Thank you for that. I love this. And this is what I mean. I almost feel like right now, I have the best relationship with my hardcore viewer base. Like, the people who are watching my stuff are loving this stuff so much. They like what I'm doing. A couple years ago, I felt like it was the opposite. People thought I was doing everything wrong, and I wasn't listening, and now it's like the opposite. And now this shit happens with YouTube. It's like when it just won't leave me alone, right? Either one group's upset, okay, I'm going to improve myself. I positively improve myself. Things are turning around. Oh, YouTube fucks me in the ass with ad revenue. Fuck this. No, I'm not putting up with this shit. No more. No fucking more. I'm going to find out what's going on. But in the meantime, please do what you can to help, all right? So, on Twitter, at the end of this week, I'll let you know what day I'm going to start working earlier. I'll also let you know the days that I'm going to have off, so you know when to not expect the stream, all right? Tomorrow, hopefully, I'll see you all on stream. All right, tomorrow I'm actually finishing a Neo on stream, which is going to be pretty crazy. I heard the ending is insanely difficult. Great, so more rage. So, yeah, I know you want to see that. So, that's tomorrow, and let's play it from here, all right? Thank you so much to everyone for your support, all right? For just watching the video. And I love it, and I love doing this as a job. I don't want to give it up. I don't want to fail at something when I'm not failing. People are watching this stuff. They're liking the stuff. This is good. Phil's improving. I'm getting all positive feedback. And then lower income thanks to YouTube. Enough is enough. And if it comes to the point where I'm going to have to demand a fucking personal call with YouTube management to get an answer out of the horse's fucking mouth why they can't do their jobs, I'm going to get it. And I'm going to get you all the answers because I've had enough of this shit. I'm not putting up with it anymore. I'm going to say, 8 years of my fucking life, I worked for you. I gave you free content on YouTube, you motherfuckers, for you to have shit on your website, right? Never, you know, what the fuck? It's not like, it's certainly not like they put out their own content to make their fucking website popular. I was one of the people who spearheaded the raw reactionary style Let's Plays on YouTube. A lot of the shit that you see now is derivative of my work. That I started on YouTube from 2008 to 2012. I was one of the first people to do playthroughs like that, from the hip, shooting from the hip, not a walkthrough, right? I was one of the first people to become popular doing it, is what I should say. I wasn't one of the first people who did it, but I was one of the first people who became popular doing it, and then was able to monetize his videos and make a living doing it. That made it all possible for tons of other people to come after me and become way bigger and better than me. That's fine. I never asked to be big and rich and famous. I just want to do my own little fucking thing and be able to pay my fucking bills, and not every month have to deal with more bullshit from people who fucking can't do their goddamn jobs. I swear to God, I'm gonna have them by the fucking balls. All right, I'm gonna calm down now. That's it, everyone. Thank you for your support. I'll let you know when the schedule is gonna change on Twitter soon, in a few days. All right, and whatever you can do, whether it's Patreon, whether it's Twitch support with.
Okay, so I think that's the end of that. That is a yeah, that was something special. So let me see here. Raging Papist wants to see a pic of Panda Lee. Okay, so it's kind of relevant. So this is Panda Lee. For those of you who don't know what she looks like. She's very inconsistent. I don't think she's that bad a looking girl. She's just not great looking. She's kind of good looking relative to DSP, I guess. But, yeah. It's, I don't know what to say, guys. That was really sad. That was sad. That was pathetic. That was one of the most depressing things I've ever seen. The man literally, unless this was all a complete another, like, scam. I mean, this could just all be a complete lie, and DSP is a notorious pathological liar. But I don't know. It's just, I don't know what to say to you guys more than I've already said, and this video's gone on long enough. But, and sorry, just to address Raid Boy Man, yes, I am aware why he's making less money. It's the thing I was trying to comment on, not exactly was DSP's money problems per se. It was the general deterioration of his mental condition. Just his general going fucking crazy. And that's kind of what I wanted to focus on. So I think that's pretty much all I had to say. There will be new quality content up soon. If anyone didn't notice, I did a reactionary review of No More Heroes today. I'm probably going to do one of Unbreakable, or Helsing is going to be the next one. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. Thanks everybody who showed up at this weird hour. All I can say is have a good weekend, and as always, God bless.